You know, when I saw the trailer for Megan 2.0, I said, oh, I see. They're doing the Terminator 2 thing. Because in the trailer, they give away that in this movie, there's going to be another more advanced AI robot killing machine like Megan. And they're going to have Megan turn good to stop her. Like, same thing as Terminator 2 was, except obviously it was a different Terminator, and those movies have time travel. But same overall premise. I saw Megan 2.0 today, and I must tell you, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, this was not. This Megan 2.0 is Terminator 2 Judgment Day if it was written by one of those guys that writes the straight to home video sequels that have bad budgets that should not exist. That's what Megan 2.0 was. And not only is the premise a straight up ripoff of Terminator 2, but the fact that a big part of this plot involves them breaking into a software company or hardware company, computer company, to get a chip, that was the extra on top. Okay, so I saw Megan back in 2022, and I thought it was good. I only saw it once. I had a good time with it. I was fine, you know. This movie never needed to happen. So this film is a follow-up written and directed by Gerard Johnstone. And it's one of those movies that, I don't know, it feels like this is giving me the vibes of what people said about Joker 2. Now, I think that Megan 2.0 is probably better than Joker 2. But man, talk about like a complete tonal shift. This movie is so goofy and so wacky. It kind of tries to go between being like an action flick and being like a comedy. It's got really bad one-liners. There's a scene where a 12-year-old human girl, a 12-year-old human girl uses Aikido to defend herself against an FBI, a trained FBI agent. That's what this movie was. Now, I will say this. It's not all bad, but it was not good. Allison Williams and Violet McGraw reprised their roles from the first movie as Gemma and Katie, respectively. And this time they find themselves caught up in what turns out to be a massive international incident where there is a new android, just like Megan, and this android is trying to essentially control the entire world using AI. This is the kind of stuff that people have been talking about even since before the first Megan came out, about this fear of AI. So I guess that the fear of AI was probably, like, I'm guessing that was the horrifying part of the story. But as far as this being a horror movie, that it was not. Goofy comedy. There's a scene where a guy who is an untrained software engineer breaks into a very highly secured facility in a disguise and knocks out a tour guide and hides the body. Like, he somehow knows how to like become Solid Snake or something. The movie is absolutely ridiculous. Look, the first movie was fine. Like I said, it's a new twist on the Killer Doll movie with, you know, AI and like a learning computer. It really is like a modern take on maybe Chucky and maybe Puppet Master, except it doesn't have the charm. But this one, oh man. And then just when you think things can't get worse, I'm watching this movie and I'm seeing that it's absolute schlock. Okay. Now, some of this schlock was good. I don't hate this movie completely. I'm going to go into what I liked in a minute. But I'm sitting there and I'm saying, well, at least it doesn't have a cringy dancing sequence. I swear it has to be minutes later. There is a cringe dancing sequence with the AI robots. Like, I'm just like, they have done everything. They basically pulled out the cliche. We don't want to do a sequel, but the first one made money, so we're going to capitalize on it playbook, and whipped out everything to where you don't take this movie seriously. And I think that this is not going to be the last one. The movie's 2 hours, and I feel like the vast majority of it is a huge waste of time. This movie could have been 90 minutes and actually worked out better and been tighter. But I will say this. Well, there is something I do like about this movie, and that is the third act. The third act has a twist that I feel is a little bit, there's multiple twists, right? One of them I kind of saw coming. One of them came off very predictable. A couple of the other ones were surprising, but also unsurprising. They sort of make you think they're going in one direction, and then they subvert it, and then they do like a double subversion. Right? I'm not going to go into spoilers in this video in case you actually care. But I will say, I don't think you should go out and see this movie. Like, if you're going to see a movie this week, I'm here to do my best to tell you what I think you should do with your money. And even if you love the first M3gan, you can wait for like a Tuesday afternoon matinee showing. You can wait for it to be on streaming. This is not a film that you have to jump up and go see in the movie theater. F1, on the other hand, completely the opposite. With F1, you should want to see it, and I did my review on that yesterday. You should want to see it, and you should want to see it on the biggest screen possible. Dolby, 4DX, IMAX, whatever you got in your local area. That is how you should watch F1. That's the movie I think you should go see. This film, man, look, like I said, I like the first one. But the Terminator 2 recycled plot was already kind of, we've seen this before. But it wasn't until the third act that things sort of got interesting from a story perspective. However, there's a couple things that I thought were even stupid there. Like, for example, there's a part where M3gan has this sort of chip where she can, like, control a regular human being's movements, and all of a sudden that human being develops like superhero powers. I'm not even kidding. Like, it was more than just like a badass like ninja warrior type of thing. We have a regular human woman who has no combat training, doesn't have any muscles, looks like a 110-pound girl, like nobody who's trained, and yet she's taking out these FBI guys, or these, whatever you want to call them, these guarded soldiers, and all of a sudden can like crack through like body armor. Like, it just, the movie, I think, does a lot of stupid shit like that, where it breaks the suspension of disbelief. The jokes don't land. Most of them are cheesy. The story, I think, is, like I said, a cut and paste story. It's just not a very good movie, bro. It was a very dumb movie. And here's the thing, though. Some people out there will like it. I don't think this movie is so bad it's good territory, because it is 2 hours. Maybe if it was shorter. But if you someday want to get high with your friends and watch a goofy, like, action movie that's like, has somewhat of a message, because there is an interesting message about AI and what it means to us as humans, and as the real world right now is developing smarter AI, this movie came along right at the right time for it. The movie does touch on that, but it felt like a waste of time. Like, when I walked out of that movie theater, I thought, okay, this has now become a clown show. This franchise has already jumped the shark. It's already become a goofy, pointless, ridiculous, I don't even know what else to say. It's not even this, it doesn't even feel like it's the same franchise anymore. So those are my thoughts on M3gan 2.0. This was a mess of a film. Some of you will like it, but I think most of you are better off saving your money and waiting for streaming, because really the movie theater doesn't add that much to it. And, I mean, I love watching movies in the movie theater, but if you're, times are tough, and if you're one of those people that doesn't have like an AMC Stubs or a Movie Pass, if you're paying for movies every week like cash or whatever, I would say hold on to it or go see F1 because that's worth your time and your money. Have a good one. See you soon.